Today, I want to step you through the basics of creating a character in DMHub. The easiest way to get started creating a character is to just right click on a tile and put create token character. This will create a blank character that you can select, and then you can click on the character sheet icon or just press C for character sheet to load up the character sheet. Here you'll see a blank 5e character sheet ready to go. You might want to start by customizing your character's appearance on the Appearance tab. You can select from one of our pre-specified avatars, or you can upload an image of your choice for your character's avatar. Here I'm just going to choose this one, and I can center it in this token frame. You can also customize the token frame for your character, or you can even choose frameless, which works especially well for a top-down token. You can also choose an anthem for your character, which is a musical tune that will play when it's their turn in combat. We again provide some musical tunes by default, which you can preview, or you can upload your own theme. This works really well if you have a party full of characters, and every time it's a new character's turn, it changes to their anthem. Something pretty cool you can do is you can add multiple different appearances to your character. You can add variations, and these variations can easily be switched between by the less than and greater than hotkeys. This is really cool, especially if you want to have a character who has a disguise, perhaps, or maybe you have a variation of your avatar that makes your character appear wounded. So once you're wounded, you could switch to the wounded appearance. Once you're done customizing your character's appearance, you can go to the Builder tab. You can start by choosing your character's level, and then you can choose some basic rules for how your character is going to work, including whether your character's hit points use fixed hit points, whether you're going to roll for hit points every level, or whether you'll use manual hit points. And then you can also choose if you're starting equipment, if you're going to start with equipment, or if you want to start with gold. I should note that everything I'm going through here is if you're using the default 5e rules for DMHub. We're busy building out other game systems, which may customize how all of this works a little bit. After this, you can roll or generate your character's attributes. There's a number of different methods for generating character attributes, including rolling, manually entering them using a standard array, or using point spy. So you can use the system of your choice. I should note that you can actually customize and set up how attribute generation works in your compendium. So you'll see each of the methods is specified here, and you can control how it works. And you can customize this quite extensively. For instance, you can change the rolls that people make. So you could, if you want a game with particularly epic feeling characters, you could make them roll 5d6, or if you want to have a really old school harsh low stats game in a brutal world, just let them roll 3d6. You can also give them extra rolls, so you can say that they get 7 rolls instead of 6 rolls, and they get to keep the top 6. And then you can do things like lock in the player rolls, so it doesn't let your players re-roll, essentially cheating. They would only get to roll their character once. So we'll go back to the attributes, and I'll show it to you in action. So I think for rolling for attributes is definitely the most fun. So you can just go through and you can roll your attributes, and here I'm doing this. Players, if it locks in, it would not let them press this button to re-roll their attributes. So I'll roll each of mine. You can just click it really fast if you just want to get it done quickly. And then I think that we will build a cleric. So this dice just took a moment to work out what it was going to be. We're going to do a cleric. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put wisdom as the highest stat, and then maybe constitution as the next highest, and then maybe the cleric wants to fight a little bit, so strength, and then not a very dexterous cleric, just like that. And that gives us our final attribute scores, shows us our modifiers and everything. After that, we can select our race. I say after that, I'll note that you can do these things in any order that you want. So you can choose your race, and you can browse through the different races, and you can read through exactly what all the races get. I will note that we use the 5e rule set is what is built into DMHub by default. So it has all of the basic races and classes and so on that are allowed to us in the D&D 5e SRD, and we try to bundle all that with DMHub by default. For this cleric, I think we'll just choose an elf, which is a high elf. A high elf is the only subrace allowed by default. I will note that I will select this, and we can make choices like what languages it can speak. So I will just choose one. This will get added to my character sheet, and we'll see all of these stats and things automatically get added to my character sheet. So if we go here, we can see weapons that an elf knows, these languages, immune to sleep, and things like this are generally automated. So if our elf got affected by a sleep spell, DMHub would automatically make her not vulnerable to the sleep spell. Likewise, she has dark vision, so if you were in pitch black, DMHub will definitely give her some vision, so she can still see up to 60 feet. I will mention that if you're not happy, for instance, with the selection of races we have by default, you can make your own in the compendium. Everything is completely customizable, so you can add new races, and you can completely customize them. You'll see these are all of the features she has, and I'm not going to dig into the details of how to customize in this video. That would take at least one, probably several more videos. But I will say that it's all pretty discoverable, so you can often click around and work out how things work. The other thing you can do if you wanted more races is you can see if other people have made more races. You can go to the download module section, and you can maybe do a search. Here's somebody who's done a bunch more backgrounds, and so forth. You can search and install some modules into your game, which may give you more options from the DMHub community. So that is we've chosen our race. We can also choose our background. Now, in the standard 5e SRD, unfortunately, the only background provided is the Acolyte background, and reflecting this, that's all you get in vanilla DMHub. You can add your own backgrounds, or you can also download modules and find what other people in the DMHub community have shared. And you'll see though that the Acolyte is enough for me to show you how it all works. Once we select the Acolyte, the background gets some equipment, and we get a holy symbol. This is showing us all the possible holy symbols, and we also get these other items. So I can choose what I want in terms of a holy symbol. So I'll choose an amulet, and then once I've made that choice, it will ask me to claim the equipment. And when I click claim equipment, the equipment was added to my inventory. If we go over to inventory, we'll see I have all those items added to my inventory. We'll also see that it has the different background features, and you can either just click on them to select them, or you can roll, and it will roll dice and randomly choose and add this to your character sheet. I'll just click this. I'll roll this one maybe, and you can add multiple if you want to. And like with the race, you can make choices like the languages that you speak. So I'll just make some choices, and they all get added here, and they also get added to your character sheet. After you choose your background, you can choose your class. I think we're going to choose a cleric, and it's very similar. That I can select my cleric, and then I can my cleric gets some skill proficiencies, and then she gets starting equipment. So I can choose a mace or a warhammer. I'll choose a warhammer, and then I can choose, maybe I'll choose a light crossbow, and then a priest pack or explorer's pack. And then I can choose again what kind of holy symbol I have. So I'll choose an emblem, and I can claim my equipment. And then I can choose my divine domain. The life domain is the only domain that comes with the 5e rule set. Again, you can potentially add your own or download some using the module system. Now that we have this cleric, we can go to our character sheet. We can see that a lot of what she has is all filled out. We can go to our inventory system. We can see that she has the priest pack, which we can right click on to unpack, and it unpacks into all of these different items. It's a good idea to equip your character. So our Warhammer, for instance, we'll put that as sort of the main weapon that she would use, along with a shield. Oops, wrong item there. And then we could also pick that she might use her light crossbow alternatively. And then I think that looks like a good setup. I guess that a cleric like this doesn't get like a torch by default. No light source. And then I guess she usually wears her scale mail armor. So I'll put the armor on her, and she should be pretty good to go. So then, because of that, we'll also see she has her starting gold. We will see that she has her armor class correctly calculated. And now I can easily, by clicking down here or just pressing 1 or 2, I can switch between her equipment setup. So I can give her her Warhammer, I can give her her crossbow, and it automatically gives me my attack options. So when I have my Warhammer out, I have my shield out also, so it increases my armor class, and I can hit something. So like it's the automation works. So I can go over here and I can attack this zombie, and I will roll, and it'll do the attack roll and correctly calculate everything, which is cool. And so then I can also set up clerics have spells, so I can go to my character sheet and go to the spell section, and this has spells set up for my cleric based on my selections. You'll see that I get my life domain spells, which are bless and cure wounds by default, and then I can select some additional spells to use. You'll see the spells from the cleric spell list over here. In DMHub, we usually try not to restrict you. We just try to give you guidance on what you should do. So if your DM, for instance, said, well, your cleric can choose a spell like from outside of the spell list because of whatever reason, you can choose to show all spells, and it will show you the spells not on the cleric spell list. But by default, you probably want to follow the rules. I will note that what we do in DMHub is we're trying to automate as many spells as possible, and this little check mark indicates how automated we feel the spell is. So anything with a green check mark like this should just really work pretty well and do everything it says on the spell just by default. A yellow check mark means that it's partially automated, and if it doesn't have a check mark, it means that it's not automated at all yet, and you'll have to rely on manually implementing it if you wanna use that spell, which should be fine. DMHub has plenty of options for manually, like changing hit points, doing damage, rolling dice, all of that normal stuff. So I'm gonna give us Sacred Flame. I'm going to give us Toll the Dead, and I'm going to give us Word of Radiance, and then I guess I'll give Healing Word, and then maybe Inflict Wounds, and then Shield of Faith sounds good. That's not automated, so we would have to implement that ourselves, and maybe something like Bless is good. So we have all of our spells. What's actually cool, if you were implementing an NPC, what's often cool is just to randomize the spells, and it randomizes them. It allows for quickly setting up a cool spellcaster if you just randomize the spells a few times. So once we've done all that, we can go and see that our spells, we have some spell slots here, and then we can cast our spells. So we could cast Sacred Flame on this zombie, and you'll see the zombie has to do a dexterity saving throw to see if he got a good roll, so he takes no damage. I guess we'll try again. Okay, this time he failed, so he takes full damage, and you'll see we roll, and he takes the damage. If we clicked on the zombie, you'll see even that he took double damage because it is radiant damage, which zombies are vulnerable to. So as you can see, all works pretty nicely. We have a pretty good degree of automation. Once you have a character set up, or maybe even when you first create your character, if you want to assign it to a player, you can right click on it and put assign to, and here you'll see by default a character is assigned as GM controlled, and this just means that it hasn't had any assignment to anybody. You can assign it to any of the parties in your game, or you can assign it to a specific player. So I have this specific player here, who I added just to show you, and now that I've added this character to this player, you'll see that it shows up here. If I don't select any character that shows up, it's now considered like an important character, so it shows up and it's in the player's party. So you'll see that it's there. In reality, if you're adding characters to your game for the first time, you probably want to just assign them as soon as you make a blank character. Just assign it immediately to a player, and then that player will now have this blank canvas which they can use to go through all of the steps to build the character for themselves rather than you building it for them. So I think, as you can see, we provide some really powerful options for really quickly making a character in DMHub, and then once you've gone through the process, you can immediately just start using your equipment, casting spells, and everything is pretty well automated for you.